What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jeremy from Randolph Running Club, and I'm back again today with another video. Today, the topic of discussion is something that I gave myself, a challenge I gave myself that I'm calling the Nike Invincible Challenge. And you guys are probably thinking, is this TikTok? Is this, is this a joke? What are we talking about? Is it a dance challenge? No, nothing like that. Just kind of getting straight into it. I really wanted a pair of Nike Invincibles. I saw the shoes when they came out. Thought it was a great idea. ZoomX foam all the way around. Just seemed like a really cool shoe. Great technology to make for a really inspiring daily trainer / recovery shoe / long run shoe. It just seemed like they could do kind of anything outside of like kind of speed work. But there was one issue that I had with these shoes. If y'all have been watching these videos for a minute, kind of rocking with me, rocking with the channel, you understand that like many people, especially these days, I'm very value conscious. I don't really like to spend too much money on shoes in one place. I think that's just upbringing, partially me just being cheap, whatever you want to call it. But at $180, I figured the price was a little bit too steep for me for a pair of shoes that are not really like carbon plated. Super shoes is not something I can go run, a full marathon in or something when I'm looking for that PR. So I decided to kind of give myself the challenge of finding what shoes that I really enjoy, that I think I'm gonna want to run in, that I could buy for the same price, right? Can I get 2 shoes, 3 shoes, 4, whatever it is? When I first started looking, I thought to myself, maybe it would be interesting to see if I could buy 3 shoes. 4 is probably too steep. When I started kind of looking at the various permutations of shoes that I could have for that price, I started to feel a little bit less inspired. I think you definitely can get 3 pairs of shoes for that $180 without a serious problem, but you're starting to get into more budget models or something that's maybe 2 generations old or something. And I felt personally for me that wasn't something that I really wanted. So without further ado, what did I buy instead? Well, let's start off right here. I got them right in front of me. I got a pair of Asics Novablast. Please excuse these, they're kind of dogged out because I really enjoy these. I've been running them a ton. It's the knit version, so kind of like the Novablast 1.5, if you will. That's what people on like Reddit call them. But great shoe. Got those for $94. And then to kind of round out this rotation, I also got a pair of Saucony Kinvara 11s. Another shoe, really like, always kind of was interested in it, and I thought it would be a great shoe to do for this challenge. So $79 from Saucony's website, and I'll link below where I got these shoes from, the prices. The Novablast were from Running Warehouse for $94, and the Kinvara 11, $79 at the time that I purchased them about 2 months ago for $79 straight from Saucony. So total cost, we're at $173, and it looks like pretty promising, right? I have a rotation for speed days, I have easy day shoes, kind of daily trainer, long run kind of type shoes here, so should be pretty good, right? So let's get into it a little bit more, right? I'll give you a review for each one of these shoes, and before I get too deep into that, you probably might be asking, what am I talking about, running rotation? I don't think I have a video on my channel, but I will put a link if YouTube allows me to. Fellow YouTuber Run JLC, if y'all have never been on his channel, definitely check it out. Brother's doing some great stuff, and he has a great video kind of walking you through what running shoe rotation looks like and kind of how you can build one. So that might be really good, so I'll link that if YouTube plays along, but if not, maybe I can just drop the link in my description. So anyway, getting into the review portion of these shoes, the Asics Novablast, right? I think this is a shoe definitely had a lot of hype when it first came out, but now onto the Novablast 2, which hasn't changed a ton. It's kind of the same spirit, the same idea, same-ish midsole as the first version. So I think a lot of those things that I'm saying about this shoe will kind of transfer to that one as well. But let's get into technical specs. It's a road running shoe. It's 9.5 ounces in a US men's size 9. We've got a 39mm heel stack height and 29mm in the forefoot, which gives us a 10mm drop all the way around. This particular version that I have has a knit upper, but the original, which you can find for even cheaper, has an engineered mesh upper, and it's got a Flight Foam Blast midsole, so that's Asics' new kind of bouncy, I think it's a Pebax foam, and then the A-Hard Plus rubber outsole. So Asics High Abrasion Rubber Plus outsole. So super durable coverage all around. So just to kind of briefly go over this shoe, I really have 3 points of the things that I really enjoy about the shoe the most. And yeah, just running through them, right? I think first and foremost, it's an all-around great shoe. Pretty much any run, I think this shoe can handle. It's super versatile, very comfortable. I find that the midsole has plenty of pop and bounce, but it's also pretty well cushioned. You don't like sink into it. It's not like a pillow type feel or anything. Like if you're looking for a Hoka Bondi type feel, or I don't know, Saucony Triumph or something like that, you're probably not going to get that here. But I will say, I've used these for recovery days. I've used them for kind of just daily miles, just racking up miles to no ill effect. Long runs. I just did an 18-mile long run in these shoes yesterday, and they performed just great for all of those different occasions. And I think that the mark of a good shoe, and something that tells me that this is a really great shoe, is that when I don't know what to wear and I'm just like trying to get out the door, this is just, my hand just naturally gravitates over to the Asics Novablast. It's not even like a question, you know. I have a pair of Puma DV8 Nitros. I have obviously the Sauconys and a couple other shoes right now just kind of lying around. But if I'm ever in a pinch, it's always the Novablast, which is always a great sign for a shoe. So point number 2 that I really like is the durability of the shoe. Super strong point. I have about 190 miles in the shoe, and I just feel like they don't feel flat. Like I said, I just took them for an 18-mile long run, plenty of pop. When I wanted to pick up the pace on that run and kind of do like strides and stuff, didn't feel encumbered or anything, and the shoes just really performed flawlessly. And you know, at 190 miles, I'm not seeing a ton of rubber wear or anything. I'm not feeling any weird effects. My knees feel fine when I'm in it. And you can't say that for every shoe, you know. You guys might have seen a video, and I'll link it here, but I reviewed the Hoka Rincons last year, and that was a shoe I remember raving about it, you know, when I first got it, and telling anybody who would listen, like, you gotta try Hoka, you gotta run in the Hokas, they're so good. But man, you know, I got to like 125, 130 miles in that shoe, and there wasn't a ton of rubber left on the bottom. The midsole was starting to wear down pretty well, and you know, I was feeling aches and pains, and they just started to feel flat. And once I got into around 200 miles, it was like to a dangerous point, in my opinion, where I would feel like if I ran more than like 2-3 miles, I'd feel it the next day. Like my ankles, my knees would just be kind of tense, kind of sore. So I think there's a really strong shoe. If you're looking for something that can go the distance, you could wear probably 500, 600 miles without any real issues. So all around great things there for the Novablast. And then lastly, I think it's just a very comfortable shoe, high performance, great price. Like I said, $94. You can get them cheaper. I've seen the original version as low as like $75-$80 these days, in the right size, right colorway, depending if you're not too picky. But point of the story, I think this is outside of carbon plated like race day shoes, like a Vaporfly or something, or Endorphin Speed or something like that. This is probably, in my opinion, like the ultimate shoe that doesn't have a super high price tag or carbon plate or anything like that. So the one con I have for this shoe, every shoe has a con probably, I mean, it just kind of is what it is if you need any type of stability, if you are an overpronator, for instance, maybe your ankles aren't as strong or something, you're just starting out running, I would say definitely you should give these shoes a chance, but buy them from somewhere that has a good return policy just in case, because you know, just with the high stack height and the softness of that foam, it's not super dense. You know, you might be feeling your ankle roll in or something a little bit, and maybe it just won't work for your stride. So I would say, you know, definitely be careful of that. If you're a person who needs a stability shoe, and you want to dabble in a neutral shoe, just be careful. That's pretty much it. So let's get down to business. Let's talk about the Saucony Kinvara 11. So technical specs on this bad boy. It's a road running shoe, just like the Novablast. It is 7.8 ounces in a US men's size 9. We have a 28 millimeter heel stack height and a 24 millimeter forefoot stack height for a total of a 4 millimeter drop from heel to forefoot. The upper is just kind of a standard engineered mesh, and we have Saucony's Power Run midsole, which is a pretty good, nice, soft foam, but still responsive. So things that I really like about the Saucony Kinvara 11, I would say it's a great option for tempo runs. It has a surprising amount of room in the forefoot for your toes to splay. I find that it still has a really good lockdown though. Like, I don't feel any type of heel slippage. I don't feel anything. It's not sloppy around the midfoot, but my toes don't feel like bunched together like some of these speedier shoes can feel sometimes at this weight class. And yeah, they just feel very, very responsive. That's the best word I can use for these shoes. When you are wearing the Kinvaras, you just feel like really unencumbered. You feel like, you know, you can really push the pace and just kind of find your natural rhythm there. I wear these shoes anytime I'm doing any kind of interval workout. If I'm going to the track, I'll bust these out, and yeah, they've just been really good for my marathon training thus far. So point number 2 on the Saucony Kinvara 11 is it's surprisingly soft and cushioned for how responsive it is. I wouldn't say this is like a pillowy shoe. Once again, like, this is not an easy day or recovery day shoe per se, but I have taken these shoes on those types of runs on occasion, and I still find them to be, pretty soft, all things considered. I find it to be something that, like, if you're doing like kind of an interval run, maybe you're doing kilometer repeats, or you're doing some kind of workout, like you're doing 2-mile repeats, 3-mile repeats, and you end up getting into that 10-mile range, 13-mile range, half marathon kind of distance, right? This shoe still feels soft enough that you can take it up to that distance and not be worried about, bruising up your feet and having any kind of discomfort. So I think that's a really big pro, because a lot of shoes that are like kind of minimalist like this, they might not have that same level of cushioning, which I think that's something you can't beat. And you definitely could use these for a half marathon if need be. Number 3 on this is, I think for the price that the shoe costs, especially today, and I guess this kind of covers points 3 and 4, so we'll combine those into one thing, but this could easily be a race day shoe for a person who's on a budget. So like I said before, I got these for $79 straight from Saucony, but I've seen a couple links from like Amazon.com, like trusted resellers, and I think like shoes.com, I don't know, but if you go to Google and type in the name of this shoe with nothing else, you will see that you can buy this shoe for like $49.99, $59, something other as of today. So it's a really good value. I think it was like $110 when it came out, so you're getting it for half the price. And yeah, it's a phenomenal shoe. Like, if you need a cheap race option or just a cheap like tempo trainer, you can't beat it. You really can't. I've tried a lot of shoes that I feel like fit into this range. One that comes to mind is like that New Balance 890 version 8, and this is so much better than that. No shade of New Balance. Y'all make a bunch of other shoes that I like, but that shoe is like hard like a rock, even though it was responsive, which was nice, I guess, the responsiveness, but not the hardness. This is just as responsive, if not more, weighs a little bit less, and it has a nice little cushion to it. So yeah, can't be beat there. Now the only 2 cons I have for this shoe, I'm going to start off with the first one here, which is durability of the shoe is a little bit questionable. I'm about 110 miles in on this one, not quite as much as on the Novablast, and the rubber is starting to wear down a little bit on the exposed midsole. There's just not a lot of rubber coverage, so I just personally don't think this shoe is going to make it much past like 200 or 250 miles. It's more so in that, like, it's better than the Rincon for sure, but this isn't a shoe that you're going to wear for, I see people on Reddit saying, I wore my shoe for 1,000 miles or something. Maybe if you weigh like half what I weigh, I'm like 215. So, if you weigh like 130 pounds or something, maybe you can push these really far. But for me, my foot strike, I already see them starting to wear down a little bit over 100 miles. So I would expect around 250-ish. I'm probably going to retire these. And then the second point I'll say is the shoe is really aggressive in that it's only a 4mm stack height. A lot of beginner runners will start with something that's maybe 10mm or 8, or even if you're like a Brooks person, maybe a Brooks Ghost is like 12mm or something like that. So this shoe might be a little bit too aggressive for a new runner. It might be something that causes you discomfort in your calves or your Achilles tendon. So you might want to ease into running in something like this. It's almost as aggressive to me, at least just from the way I feel. It's like wearing an ultra shoe, like 0mm drop, and that's just completely flat all the way across. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you've already run in shoes with this kind of stack height, it won't be an issue, but just something to call out for newer runners or somebody who hasn't experienced the shoe quite like that before. And yeah, that's my thoughts on the Saucony Kinvara 11. So the final conclusion here is, why buy one shoe for $180 when you could buy 2 or 3? You know, I mean, it's all about the value, right? You got to do what works for you. But for me, that's kind of my opinion. For the price of, one like super shoe, you could get running shoe rotation and experience different types of shoes, build up different muscles in your legs and in your feet, and really, extend the life of your shoes. If you bought that one pair for $180 versus 2 pairs for that price, that one pair is probably going to get worn down in 2 months, 3 months. But these 2 shoes, you can probably wear those for double that time. If you're a person who doesn't like replacing your shoes super often, buying 2 is like kind of a no-brainer in that way. And this is an economical way for you to do that and get to experience different brands or different models of shoes. So would I buy these shoes again? Definitely, if I could only have one, it would be the Novablast. But I would say I definitely like both of them. I think I want to try the next versions of each just to see what they've done. The Novablast is perfect for you if you're looking for an all-around trainer that's kind of going to handle like the bulk of your miles. The Saucony Kinvara 11 is really great for speed sessions, track work, races. So I think you have a really tantalizing combo right there by kind of combining those 2 shoes. So yeah, those are my thoughts. This is the Nike Invincible Challenge. Sorry, haven't shown that shoe one time. So if you're feeling a little bit salty about that, my apologies. It wasn't meant to be like a catfish kind of thing. But I digress. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you like what you saw, please go on ahead, hit that subscribe button. Go on ahead and just, drop a like, chat with me down in the comments if you've worn these shoes or if you want to see me review some other shoes. And last but not least, stay blessed, inspire others, stay safe out there, y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.